audience, I am coming to you from Seguku in Wakiso district, and we are speaking matters conflict resolution, conflicts in political parties, conflicts in communities. Last year, we ran a story of a Congolese national who stabbed a friend just on a piece of soap. And this time we see that conflicts do not only stop in communities, conflicts between even the police and the civilian communities. But ending conflict, solving them, is another way to go by. Just recently, there was an engagement here between the police and the border riders. The border riders were accusing the police of only sidelining the curfew time to them, leaving alone those who are driving cars, because they said the curfew for borders is at 6. But now when the police finds at 7, you are arrested. For the cars, it's at 9. At 10, 11, cars are still on the road and no one bothers here. But of course, in that resolution, the Pilgrim Center for Reconciliation was the mediation party in the middle, which has done this not only once or twice, but many often. Joining me this beautiful morning is the country director, Bob Mayonza, to just let us understand about the peace and the conflict resolution. And Bob, welcome with me on Morning at NTV.
Thank you so much, NTV, for welcoming me here.
We have seen you mediate between the, different parties coming together for reconciliation, and the recent was between the police and the border. What is the peace and reconciliation process like?
First and foremost, I want to say thank you so much for the media coming out to look at a few areas where people don't look out. A year ago, you guys ran a story, and the story was about a Congolese national that stabbed a brother because of a bar of soap. And this not only comes in with only the people that stay in the country, but it also comes in with sectors of life that we live in: the church, the communities, the leaders, our families. You know that we had a lot of domestic violence issues that were running during the lockdown, even up to now. But we as Pilgrim Center for Reconciliation, our main call is to bring hope, restoration of relationships, revitalization of communities. But all in all, we see that Uganda is the best place where reconciliation should start.
Bob, if I can just cut you short before we dive in that. How are you able to identify these conflicts?
Actually, a conflict is, I could say, this is like me, you, Ivan. The moment we have incompatible goals, then a conflict will arise. The moment I don't see things the way how you see them, then a conflict will arise. That is the only thing that happens. That is how conflict arises, even in a society. Right now we are talking about political issues. The moment NUP doesn't see things as NRM sees them, then we'll have a lot of incompatibility goals that NUP wants to bring in something, and NRM is saying, I want to have something in.
Do you get contented that out of the reconciliation, for example, from the recent one of the police and the border riders, something reached at an agreement between them? Yes,
one of the things that we as Pilgrim Center we do is to allocate or invite people to, and we open up an opportunity for people to see that reconciliation is the best way to live and it's the best way to go. The borders and the police people. Actually, I have a lot of successful stories where the border saying now, I can freely talk to a police person, I can freely talk to the OC, and I can freely enjoy as a citizen in Uganda. Yes.
And now it's not only about the institutions. We have also conflicts in community.
Yeah.
Conflicts that Uganda is free to every tribe, free to every country, and now, how hard or easy is it for you to mediate people that probably, are different in diverse of opinion? And
one thing with Pilgrim Center, we are non-denominational, so we allow everyone to come in, just like Jesus said, everyone come in the way you are. We have worked, and we're still working with very many people that come as our neighbors, because one of the core values of Pilgrim Center is love. And one of the commandments of Jesus is say, love your neighbor. So our neighbors, we welcome our neighbors regardless of race, regardless of tribe, regardless of religion. We have been working with our friends from South Sudan. We have South Sudan. We have worked with our friends from Somalia, from Congo, from across all our neighbors, from Rwanda and from Burundi.
And are you only doing this conflict resolution within the Entebbe, the Kampala area, or the plan is as big and broad as?
No, we as the NGO board actually gave us countrywide. So we are operating countrywide. We have been to Moyo, we have been to Mbarara, we have been to Gulu, we have been to the eastern, the western, and the northern part. Actually, even tomorrow we'll be going to a place called it's in Impiji. That's why we're having another conference about peace and reconciliation. Yes.
The youth are now divided on a political ground. Some are yellow, some are red, some are red. Are you also looking at that as part of what you need to do? Because we have even seen bloodshed. We have seen people stone each other. We have seen people, holding pangas and blocks for the other. Are you also considering that as one of?
Yeah, as Pilgrim Center, we're looking at youth. One of the things we need to know as Ugandans, we should not only first look at us being victims, but we need to be peacemakers of seeing that our nation as Uganda will be a better country for our children, but also for our grandchildren. But we as Pilgrim Center, we are organizing, and we have organized peace and reconciliation forums for the young people. We are doing healing and reconciliation retreats for the young people. And that is how things are supposed to be as in Uganda. Uganda is diverse. Come on, it's black, yellow, red. We have a lot of things. And the only way of how we can harmonize Uganda is for us to sit down on a table, regardless of our egos, regardless of our race, regardless of our...
We have people who are non-Uganda, we have people from other countries, people from Kenya, Somalia, and how are you able to engage them on a neutral base that they can agree and subscribe to the interests that you want to initiate within them?
You see, living in peace is desirable for everyone. Now, near Easter, we're going to be having a medical outreach with our brothers coming in from Somalia. We're going to be actually in Chisenyi. But as the Somali community is so much of the Muslim people. But we as Pilgrim Center, our core value is having the cross because that is a symbol. But regardless of that, we move in and we create a safe place for where enemies can become brothers, where religion is not the core thing, but people is the core thing of reconciliation.
And as we wind up this conversation,
yes,
wrap it up by telling us what message are you trying to send to the people if you're doing all of this?
What I could say to my fellow countrymen is that Uganda is here, Uganda is for us. Uganda is for us the next leaders, for the now leaders. But the only thing I could say right now is that we have to reconcile. We have to live in peace. We have to love one another, regardless of tribe, regardless of age, regardless of religion, regardless of color. And above all, we have to know that God is the center of everything. He's the center of Uganda. So wherever we remove God in this picture and we put man, come on, we're not going to go anywhere as Ugandans.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you so much, NTV.
Bob Mayonza is the country director for Pilgrim Center for Reconciliation here in Seguku, just giving us a hint about the Peace and Reconciliation program. The diverse politically, the diverse both in differences, communities, race, and all other those related, especially in the youth when they've been divided by the political space. But of course, he says the reconciliation is the only way to go as he talks to us this beautiful morning. I come back to you in the studio. A very good morning to you.